Good morning.
Good morning.
As I was preparing for today, I wanted to know a little bit more about the presentation of the Blessed Virgin Mary. And I came across this article written by an Irish Jesuit in Deacon. And let me share it with you. The presentation of the Blessed Virgin Mary is a feast celebrated by both Catholics and Orthodox churches. It is the celebration of a presumed event of which there is no strict historical record, namely that Mary, as a child, was presented to God by her parents. There is no mention of this anywhere in the New Testament. But it appears, for instance, in the apocryphal work called The Infancy Narrative of James. According to this story, Mary's parents, Joachim and Anne, who had been without a child, received a heavenly message that they would bear a child. When a child was born, the parents went in thanksgiving to the temple in Jerusalem to consecrate her to God. The story then says that Mary remained at the temple until she reached puberty. And then she entrusted to Joseph, who was to be her guardian. Other versions of the story from the works such as the Gospel of Pseudo-Matthew and the Gospel of the Nativity of Mary said that Mary was brought to the temple about the age of 3 in the fulfillment of a vow by her parents, and she was to remain there to be prepared for her future role as the Mother of God. The celebration of this feast began with the dedication of the Basilica of St. Mary the New, which was constructed in the year 543. This basilica was later destroyed, but the feast has now spread all throughout the Eastern churches. In the West, it was first adopted in 1373 by the papal chapel in Avignon, the city in the south of France where the papacy spent several years in exile. However, it was removed as a church feast by Pope Pius V from the revised Roman calendar, but was later restored again in 1585 by Pope Sixtus VI. Western art usually focuses on the figure of the little girl Mary climbing up the steps of the temple, having left her parents at the bottom and approaching the chief priests and other temple figures at the top of the steps. That presentation was one of the traditional scenes illustrating the life of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Today's feast, even if it lacks historical accuracy, is full of meaning. It suggests that from her youngest days, Mary was being prepared for her unique role as the Mother of God, an extraordinary privilege that is shared by no other. God revealed his will at Nazareth to this young girl, and she accepted it. Mary had seen many occasions and never once withdrew. She was one of the very few who stayed with her son to his last dying breath. Although a sword felt like pierced her heart, she remained faithful to the will of God. The real greatness of Mary is suggested in the Gospel reading today, where true greatness does not come from birth, but from the total giving